Kaptain. I'm the board game captain.
And I'm Alex.
And today we're going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the Island of El Dorado. So to start off with, before I forget, I'd like to give a big thank you to El Dorado Games and Play Monster for sending me this copy of the Island of El Dorado to play and have fun with and do some content with. And we've actually been playing quite a bit of this one.
Yeah, we have.
So we've, now, without any further ado, let me just get into describing what this game is about. This is a game where you are, it's got a light fantasy theme. You're explorers on this mythical island of El Dorado, not to be confused with the lost city of El Dorado. And there you are looking for these shrines to gain control of the city. You choose asymmetrical player power explorers. You do a little bit of like super light 4X exploration, expanding, exterminating. What is it? Explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. Yes. You actually do a little super light. Yeah. It's a lot of exploring. The exploring is, I think, the most.
Yeah, right. It should be called Exploring the Island of El Dorado. But...
You really do.
Yeah.
And so this game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 to adult. It's listed as a 20 minutes per player. And this game was published by El Dorado Games and Play Monster. I'm going to show the Play Monster logo right there. And it was designed, and unfortunately I had to go into the rulebook for this. Guys, take note. Put the designers' names on the cover.
Yes.
This game was designed by Daniel Aronson and was developed by Michael Howard and Nick Tompkins, which leads me to believe they might have added some extra rules in after Daniel had his initial idea. So let's start with the players, the time,
yes,
the age.
2 to 4. I don't see any problem with. It's fine at 2. It would be fine at 3, and it would be fine at 4.
Yeah, so there's quite a few of these where I feel like the 2-player version suffers when you have these multiplayer games. But we've played this a bunch 2 players, and this is great at 2.
It's fantastic at 2. The only thing I think you might lose when you're at 2,
trading
is the trading. Yeah, there's no incentive to trade when you only have one other opponent. So
right. Sometimes when 2 people are knowing they're behind, they might trade to help each other out to mutually catch up to the first person if there's 3 players.
Right.
The 20 minutes per player might be a little bit of an overestimate. This is actually a very fast game, especially once you've played it once or twice.
Yes, right, for sure.
I would say more like 15 minutes per player, personally. I don't know. What do you think?
I think we could probably... We have knocked out this game in 20 minutes.
We have had knocked out games in 20 minutes.
So.
Ages 14 and up, I feel like, is a severe overestimate.
Yeah.
Especially for the base game.
There should not be a 14-year-old that can't excel at this game, and I would imagine most 9 and 10-year-olds would do just fine.
Yeah, I was thinking 8 for the basic game.
Yeah.
Hardcore mode, maybe 10.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, 8, yeah. So we'll get into the regular versus hardcore mode in a little bit later. But let's have a look at what comes in here. So first off, I already pulled the rulebook out because I had to get it for the designers. This is a really nice rulebook. It is full color. They use, for all the artwork in here, they use a lot of classic artwork, classic free to use artwork, which I like the style. It looks really nice. They do photographs of the setup while telling you the setup, so you can look at it, which is really good. Rather than a diagram, they just did like a real nice overhead photograph. There were a couple of minor ambiguities in the rules, a couple of things I had issue with, but they were not that big a deal. We were able to figure it out, and there was a fact we were able to check.
Yes, right.
So overall, I would say the rulebook is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So now, the production, because we're about to talk about the production here.
Well, just start at the outside of the actual box is really, really nice.
It's beautiful.
It's got this like inlaid gold lettering on it, and
the box
is textured.
It's actually a linen finish box.
Yeah, right.
And then it's magnetic. I love that click.
Satisfying.
It is. It's a little ASMR for you right there. The magnet clicking together. Ready? Shh. So you open it up and you have this beautiful,
completely unnecessary but extremely nice.
Again, with the classic artwork.
Yeah.
And I really like the classic artwork.
Yeah.
Now, this insert is really nice. This is one of those inserts where you're like, everything has a place and a place for everything. And it all fits in really nicely, and it's really well done. There's this little plastic bit here that goes over the tiles. These are tiles for the island, which have things like water tiles, as well as this is food tiles. I think it's supposed to look like it looks like animals and fruit trees. There's another water one there. Let me find some others. Oh, these are gold fields for harvesting gold. And let's see. Here's a forest tile. And then there's also special tiles for the shrines, which we'll show you some more of those later. These tiles are real nice. They're cardboard punch-out tiles, but they did not come in a punch-out sheet. They were already punched out for you.
Right.
And they all say El Dorado on the backs. Then in addition, you have two-sided cardboard player sheets. These are, most of the characters can be either male or female, but they're actually different. They have asymmetrical player powers, and the male and female character on either side have totally different powers.
Yeah, it's not like blue means one thing. It's just you have two different characters. Just happen to both use the blue
pieces.
Blue pieces or green pieces.
We have blue, and for the pieces, which we have pieces to represent all of your various, villagers, your explorer that you choose, your farmhouses, your fortresses, and your offerings to the various shrines in all the different colors here. I'm going to pull out some of the white ones here to show. So, like, here is one of the explorers, obviously a female explorer. Here is a farmhouse. And then you've got, in here is a fortress. Now, these are really nice. And a lot of these, they really made the meeples look a lot like their illustrations of the people, which are really great. Like, here's another meeple. Again, he looks like he's holding a sword and a shield. So it's very easy to figure out. And you've got the villagers and then little things for the offerings. These are really, really nice. I love wooden pieces. I'm a big fan. And again, you've got them in white, red, brown, and blue.
Yeah.
White, red, brown, and blue. Oh, and green.
Yeah.
Though it does limit you to
4 players.
4 players. So there's just some extra options in regard to color and characters.
I think that 4th player then gets at least choice between 2.
That's right. That is true.
That's a nice thing.
So then we have this nice box here for the resource cards. The resource cards are very nice. They don't ever need to be shuffled, but they're still in and finish. And you have them for all the 3 different kinds of resources of food and gold and wood. There we go. And they come in a nice little separate box. These are real nice. And then we've got one to show the dice over there.
We've got 2 kinds of dice. You have gold dice, which are used for
in the basic game, it's for movement.
For rolling for movement or resource collection. The advanced rules are a little bit different.
In hardcore mode, they're mainly used either just to keep track of how many points you spent on each, or for the characters who have an ability that need to roll for them.
And then there are 11, I believe, of these battle dice. And these are the black dice, and they have a 1. They have 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 blanks. And you use these for rolling for battle. And the strength determines how many die each guy gets in the battle.
You roll a number of dice equal to your current strength, and then see who has the most pips, basically.
Right.
And then there's cave tiles, which look just like the island tiles, except they are the inside of the cave. So there is the entrance to the cave, whereas this is just a dark cave tile. And there's some interesting things in there, like you can run into a tiger or a giant or some bandits, which are really cool. And then I think the final thing is the actual shrines, which are these.
Which are really nice.
Yeah, these are big. They're dense resin. Very, very weighty.
Yeah,
very weighty.
Oh yeah, they're not chintzy made. They're very nice.
And they're pre-painted. Simple paint job, but they look great. I really like the production on this one.
Yeah, it leaves nothing to be desired. The production is top rated. For
a small company's first game, I'm surprised by how good the production is. It's quite good. Yeah. This all looks very, very lovely. That's everything that comes in the box. We're going to head over to the table and show you how to play this game and run you through a number of turns of it to give you a feel for it. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how this game feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we are set up and about ready to play a game of the Island of El Dorado. So in order to set up, the first thing you have to do is you set aside the 3 island shrines, which look like pyramids here. These are made out of a nice thick resin. And you also set aside all of your black dice, which have 0s, 1s, and 2s on them. Then you give each player a player board. Now, for this game, I'm going to be green, and I'm going to be playing Tizok the Gatherer, and it has a cheat sheet on here for how much it costs to do all the various things I need to do.
I will be playing Belena the Commander.
And you will be blue.
I will be blue.
Indeed. Now, we are going to be playing the optional rule set of the hardcore mode. I just wanted to specify this, though at the end of our example, we will tell you what is different for playing the basic mode, but as we prefer the hardcore mode ourselves, we decide to go with the hardcore mode for our example. So continuing on, you set aside the 3 types of resources, and each player will collect 1 resource of each type to start the game with. The resources being gold, wood, and food. Now, then we also draw 1 random tile to start with. In this case, we have drawn a forest, which of course can produce wood, and we will place our starting tokens, our explorer tokens, on the forest to begin with. So now, if we had drawn either a shrine tile or a water tile, we would shuffle it back into the deck and draw a new tile, as your explorers are not able to set foot either on a shrine or on a water tile. We collect our various pieces, both our little offering pieces here and our little villager pieces here, as well as our forts and our farmhouses. We shuffle up the tiles that are over here, are randomly to be dealt out while we are exploring the island, and we have the random cave tiles shuffled up there, though they are slightly less random because the cave shrine, we know, is in the bottom 50% of that stack. You separate into 2 equal size stacks, shuffle the cave shrine into the bottom half, and then put them back together. Now, for the hardcore mode, we get a total of 6 action points we're able to use. We divvy them up how we like to either be able to gain resources, either from a space that our explorer is on or a space that we have a villager on adjacent to a farmhouse. And the other, and those have to be taken first. And then the other points we don't use for that, we can use to move around the map and explore. So the map is currently only 1 hex, but if you step off 1 space in any direction, you can explore. And when exploring, once there are 2 tiles on the map, you must always place new tiles so they're touching 2 of the tiles. So now the 3 things that are a little specific to the hardcore mode are that we each start with a hand of 2 randomly dealt tiles for a 2-player game. In a 3-player game, it would be 1 each, and in a 4-player game, it would be 1 each. But these tiles are the shrine tiles or the cave shrine tile in one case, and we have to play these within the first 3 turns of the game, or else they will be shuffled into the random deck. Now, we can play them anytime we are doing an exploration action. We can choose, instead of drawing a random tile, to flip one of these face up and add it to the board. The second thing that is different is, of course, the ability to use 6 points rather than roll the dice. In the base game, you roll 2 dice, and then you pick one of the dice to be for your movement and one of the dice to be for your resources. And the final thing is we can spend gold to be able to do re-rolls once during a combat. So without any further ado, we're just going to jump into this, and we're going to show you how this plays by playing. So we're going to start by rolling off to see who goes first. I got a 2.
I got a 4.
Well, I guess it's you then. So
all right. Well,
now, the other thing it recommends you do is use the gold die that in the normal game you would have used to roll. Use this to keep track of your 6 points.
Correct. We also should mention that this die is out here for us to keep track of how many turns we go through, because we have to place these tiles within the first 3 moves. So that's why that's sitting out here as a reminder for us to do that.
So here is our first turn.
I'm going to draw for my first.
So where are you exploring? Which side?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to explore right there.
Okay, let's see what you get.
Water.
Oh, can't go in the water. And now you're going to have to go adjacent to both of them. So which way are you going? Towards you or towards me?
I'm going to go here.
Okay.
We have wood.
Now you have to enter the forested space, of course.
So I'm doing 6 explore, by the way. That's why.
Oh, you're doing 6 explore.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go right here.
Okay.
That is a food. We're gonna go here. Another food. So that's my
I should have realized you're doing 6 explore because you have to do the resources first, of course.
right. For my 5th one, I'm gonna go here.
Oh, you're looking to separate one of the temples really far out, aren't you?
Maybe. And then for my
6th?
6th and the final move, I'm gonna go right here.
Are you going to place the temple or are you going to place another random one?
That's a good question. I think I'm gonna place another random.
Oh, okay.
That didn't work
Water.
out. That didn't work out for me.
Water.
Not what I was hoping for, but that's all right.
Okay, so for mine, now I always Tizok's ability is that he gets +1 food per turn, regardless of how many, regardless of how much actually resource gathering he does. So I'm going to put 1 into resource gathering just to start with. Actually, let me see. Should I do more than 1? I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do 1. So I'm going to bring this down to a 5, and I'm going to take a wood because I am on the forested space, and then I'm going to take Tizok's 1 free food because he gets that as his ability. Now your maximum hand size is 9. It brings me up to 5 cards. You don't have to immediately discard down to 9 if you get more than 9. It's at the end of your turn though, so you're allowed to draw. So you have more than 9. You just got to spend some of them right away. So now I have 5 points for exploration myself, and I'm going to start by going here. And get another forest. That's my first one. For my second, I'm going to go here.
There's that gold.
There is the gold. That's 2. 3, I'm going to go here. Water. 4, I'm going to go here. Water. Oh my goodness. 5, I'm going to go here. Gold. There be gold in them there hills. Okay, and that is, oh yes, thank you, I had to go in there. And that is going to be it for my first turn. And as you can see already, the island is shaping up. We have sight on all 3 resources out there at the moment, plus lots of water spaces.
A lot of water came out.
All right, so now it is turn 2, and Alex has turned that die already. Alex, what are you going to do for turn 2 here? So Alex is currently on a forested space, so the only resource at the moment that he can get is wood.
Let's go. We'll go 2 and 6. So I'm gonna use my 2 resources I'm gonna take, and that leaves me 4 movement or explore. I'll take the 2 wood. Now I'm gonna explore for 4. First movement's gonna be to this space here. The garden.
Oh, wow.
Which is
the garden
excellent.
is, let me just show that to the camera. So the garden allows you, if you're on it or if you have a farmer adjacent to a farm on it, allows you to get all the kinds of resources that there are. All 3 varieties can be gotten from 1 farmer, 1 villager on that 1 space.
So I think I'm going to use the opportunity to build at this moment.
Probably a good place to build.
So I'm going to build a farmhouse and get a villager. So that's going to require 1.
So farmhouses is one wood and 1 gold,
right,
and 1 food for the villager.
So food, there's the food. This is the farmhouse, or these 2 here. So the villager is going to go on there. The farmhouse is going to go on this intersection right here.
Fair enough.
So I have 3 more exploration. I'm going to go here for number 2. Oh, that's water. Well, then I'll go here. For number 3 will be right here. There's that gold.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, nice.
And for my 4th exploration,
you're going to place a shrine finally?
I'm going to place a shrine right there.
So now all the shrines have different illustrations, and they always have like a gold border, which is really lovely. This one here, of course, looks like some ancient ruins there.
So, and then with the shrine, obviously goes
right there.
And that is our nice, beautiful shrine.
Well done.
So
well done, sir.
That was my gather and explore.
So it's my turn to do a bit of gathering and exploring. And I have decided that I am going to I am going to gain 3 resources, and I'm going to gain 3 gold because I'm on a gold space and that's all I can get there. But then I'm also going to get 1 food as my bonus because that's just what I get for being Tzok. That is his ability. And then I got 3 points of exploration to do. So my first point of exploration, I'm going to place a second shrine out right over here. Now, as I can build immediately upon any point in my turn, and that was only my first point of my 3 points of movement, I'm going to buy an offering immediately for that shrine, which costs me 2 of each resource to do. It's quite expensive, but it immediately gives me +1 strength for any fights I might get into, which is also very useful. So I'm going to put my offering up on top there, and plus you only win the game when you have an offering on all 3 shrines that are above ground and have control of the cave shrine. So it's incredibly important to be able to do that. So now I'm going to do some more exploration. I'm going to explore there, and I'm going to take a random one. Ooh, gold fields.
Lots of gold over there.
Yeah, I'm going to go here. Food. And I'm going to go here. Water. And that is the end of my exploration, and I am all finished.
Okay, we're now turn 3, so the black die only have 1s and 2s, so our third is going to be represented by a blank side. I'm going to use my opportunity to gather 4.
Because you can get anything you want now.
I can get anything I want, so I'm going to have two movement or explorers, and I'm going to use 4 gather, and I'm going to take 2 food and 2 gold. Gotta love those gardens. And immediately I'm going to spend all of that to also place an offering. That's a villager. An offering on this shrine. The offerings don't have to go on top. You can put as many offerings as there are players on each one, but
yes.
I like putting it on.
It's fun to put it there.
Put it on the pinnacle.
Yeah.
It's a lot more exciting.
Why not? So this is turn 3, though.
Yes.
So that cave has to be coming out, or it's gonna get shuffled in. So what are you gonna do with your exploration?
I have 2, so I have to decide what I want to do. And I think on my first point of exploration, I am going to
Place the cave.
Flip that cave right there.
Okay, so the cave entrance has been discovered, which means now we place the cave entrance adjacent here to the island in this nice free space.
I want to flip it so we can build.
So we can, go. We can only build out from this side of the cave. I'm going to place it parallel to the island since we've already been doing quite a bit of building with the island here. And then, are you all finished?
So that was my explorer,
and then
my first move, and then that would be my.
Oh, you're going right into the cave.
I'm thinking I'm gonna do that.
Oh, interesting.
Shall I? Yeah, why not? All right, so I'm gonna go into the cave.
This will be fun.
And then I'm going to explore 1 position, which is going to be right there for my second explorer.
Well, I think that's actually your second move.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is my second move.
Yeah.
Entering the cave counts as a move.
Right, you step on the space and then you move over.
You're right. Okay.
So you'll need to wait till next turn.
Yes.
To start exploring the cave. So now it is my turn. I am going to harvest for 1 and leaving 5 for exploration, and I'm going to take 1 food because that's the space I'm on, and I'm going to take 1 additional food because I'm Tzok, and that's what Tzok does. That's how he rolls. And then I'm going to do 5 exploration. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to go here for my first one. Find a gold.
All that gold.
Yeah, a lot of gold coming out. That's 1, 2. Gold. 3. Food. 4. Wood. There we go. So 4th here, and for the last one, I'm going to place my shrine there. So
let's see what that one looks like. What's that?
So that is a very cool looking picture, actually. Very nice.
Pretty cool, yeah.
All right, so we're going to place the shrine there. And then it is Alex's turn.
All right. Well, now that we've gotten all the shrines and the cave out, I'm going to use. I'm going to go for 3. 3 gather and 3 movement. So I'm going to take 2 of those, 2 golds, and a food. And I'm going to explore into the cave. So for my first of 3, I'm going to go right here. Empty cave space.
Nice.
Second is going to have to go here. You can't build on any of those 4 areas.
X's, yeah, no, none of the X's.
Oh, wrong. Sorry, that's the wrong pile. Oh, I found the torch.
Nice. So it says, for the torch, it says, privately look through the cave stack. Do not rearrange the tiles. Then flip this tile over and use it as a basic cave tile. So Alex gets to know how far down is the cave shrine.
So now I have 1 more exploration to do, which is going to have to go right there. And it's another blank cave tile. So that's it for my exploration.
Okay, so I'm going to gather resources. And for my gathering of resources, I'm going to start by gathering 3 resources of my 6 points. And I'm going to gather 3 wood. And of course, I always get 1 food. So I'm immediately going to do an offering to the second shrine up here, which is 2 wood, 2 food, and 2 gold to immediately get my second offering going. And there we go with that. So now I have 3 movements left over, and I'm going to move 1, 2, and then just waste the last movement. I don't actually want to use it. So so I'm going to pass the turn. It is now Alex's turn.
Okay. Stick with my 3 and 3 right now.
Okay. You've got a very productive farm, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to take 1 gold. I'm going to take 2 golds and a wood. I'm going to come back out of the cave.
Oh, really?
1, 2, 3.
4. That's.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3.
There you go. Okay, so I'm going to start by gathering resources, and I am going to gather 4 resources so that I can collect 4 gold, because I am on a gold space, and that's all I can collect is gold. But of course, I always get that 1 food for being Tizak. Gotta love it. So then I'm going to build a farmhouse finally with 1 wood and 1 gold and 1 villager I'm going to put into place with said farmhouse. So I'm going to put the farmhouse here adjacent to me on this intersection. I'm going to put the villager here on that gold space. I'm going to build 1 more villager adjacent here on that food space. Then I'm gonna move. Then I'm gonna move 1 of my 2 spaces here, and I'm going to spend 3 gold and build a fort. And I'm gonna drop it right there. I move 1 final space here, and I'm gonna pay 1 food, and I'm gonna drop another villager on this space here. Now the reason I'm doing this is to make a choke point, because Alex will have to come through this fort and this villager and me to get to the other shrines, which means he'll have to fight for it.
So there.
There indeed.
I'm going to go 3 and 3 again. I'll take 1 of each. Gather 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3.
Interesting.
And build a fort.
Oh, well now.
And grab a villager.
Over there, huh? It looks like we might have a fight on our hands.
Perhaps.
How intriguing. Well then, you are standing. We are each have two shrines on our side of the board.
One more villager.
One more villager. Put him over there with your explorer. Huh? Yeah. I'm gonna spend 5 on resources, and I'm going to take my 1 free food for being Tzok. I'm gonna take an extra. I'm gonna take a pair of gold, a pair of wood, and 1 more gold. I have farmers adjacent to my farmhouse on both wood and gold, and the 1 food I get for free. Then I'm going to spend my singular food on another villager, which I'm going to add to the force here. And then I'm going to move into the space here to fight Alex's explorer, and I'm going to spend 1 gold to move my army of these 2 villagers with me to join me in the fight. Now, Alex can now do the same if he has gold to spend to move armies in. 2 gold. He's going to move 2 armies. Oh, okay. All right, so now we roll a number of dice equal to our strength. All right, so we have to calculate our strength, and our strength is done like this. Our explorers have a strength of 1. Having an adjacent fort gives an extra strength. Having a villager gives a strength. And each shrine that your explorer has gives you 1 strength, while the cave shrine would give you 2. So I have my explorer with 2 shrines, gives a total of 3, and 2 villagers gives me 5. So I get 5 strength and therefore 5 dice. Alex, what have you got?
I have my explorer is 1, my fort is 2, my 3 villagers gives me 5, and 1 shrine controlled gives me 6.
So you are actually 1 die up on me. So now, let's see.
You are the attacker, so you get to roll first and decide if you want to reroll.
Indeed. I am going to, I got 4 1s and a 0. I'm going to re-roll 1 of the 1s and 1 of the 0s. I pay gold for the re-rolls. Oh, exactly same thing. So I have 4 points of strength for this fight. What have you got coming at me? Let's see.
Ooh.
I think I'm in trouble.
I have 8 and 9.
So you do not need a reroll. You have defeated me.
Yes.
So my villagers get destroyed, and you get to take me off the board, and at the beginning of my next turn, place me next to one of the shrines I have an offering in front of. So as you can see, this is how you play a game of the Island of El Dorado. Now you keep exploring and you keep fighting over the area until you're able to get your offerings on all 3 of the above ground shrines. Offerings can never be removed. And then down here in the cave, eventually you're going to explore the cave until up comes the cave shrine. And whoever reveals the cave shrine takes it for themselves, and it is worth 2 strength instead of 1 like the other shrines are. However, the cave shrine is vulnerable because if you are ever defeated in a fight when you have the cave shrine, then what happens is the other player gets to take the cave shrine. So now the only differences between this and the regular version is that in the regular version, you don't get to do the gold for rerolls in battle. You roll the 2 gold dice at the beginning of your turn, and you use one of them for how far you're going to explore or move, and the other one for how many resources you're going to gather. And in addition, the shrine tiles and cave entrance tile are randomly shuffled into the deck. So now we're going to head back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so that was how you play a game of the Island of El Dorado in hardcore mode. We decided to do hardcore mode because while having tried out numerous games of both the regular mode and the hardcore mode, we decided that we liked hardcore mode significantly better.
Yes.
And as it's a specific option in the rule book, it's right in there, we decided to go for hardcore mode.
Yes.
The main reason we like it better is it's a more tactical game and a more strategic game because of how the standard mode is very random.
The standard mode is random on top of random.
It is. There's a lot of dice rolling. You roll 2 dice, and then you pick which one you want for the resources, and you pick which one you want for the movement. So there is a little bit of choosing, but there's no press your luck re-rolling of those dice. You just once and then go.
Right. And then the randomness of the tile draws, and then you can't re-roll your attacks.
No, except for one character. There's one character.
The one character allows it. And which there's in the hardcore mode description in the rule book.
That changes a little.
It does change a couple of the characters' their specific behaviors just because of the rule change. But it makes it a lot more. You got to think a little bit more, and does remove a lot, actually quite a bit of the randomness.
Now that being said, I still like the regular mode.
I really do too. Actually, it's more fun than it should be. The regular mode is, like I said, is randomness on top of randomness.
Yeah.
But it's extremely enjoyable. It moves really fast.
Oh yeah, very fast.
And I don't know. It shouldn't be that good. It should not be that fun.
So the regular version, the things the randomness, a lot of randomness is definitely a downside. Mm-hmm. But it's also because of its simplicity and how easy it is to just pick up and play. One, it's a good game to share with non-gamers.
Yes, for sure.
That are totally good with just picking up dice and rolling and having fun.
Right.
Two, it just feels like a really good beer and pretzels game. Mm-hmm. And because of how you could fit this on a pub table, or at least like one of the shorter but larger surface area tables at the pub.
Coffee table, yeah.
Yeah, you could totally play this as a pub game.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Well, part of the rules say that the edge of the table.
It can't go off the edge of the
table. So it's just the part of the game then.
Right. And so, like, I would totally, even though this is a bigger box than I normally would bring as a pub game, because of how much of a beer and pretzels game the regular game is, I would totally bring this to the pub and play it.
Right.
And man, does it look beautiful out on the table with all the classic artwork. Yeah. I love the classic artwork.
Classic artwork, 3-dimensional pieces. It looks really cool.
And then, okay, so
but also you can the regular game you can play with
anyone,
a child.
You can play with anyone.
An 8, 9, 10-year-old would play that without a problem.
And then and then here's why I think I like this game so much. Is the inclusion of the hardcore mode fixes the only real criticisms I would have had about this game. If this game was just the basic mode, I would have rated it significantly lower than I'm about to. And it's and it's because of all the randomness. I would have said, well, it's fun and it has its place and you can play it with new gamers and it's a beer and pretzels game and we can bring it to the pub, but are you really going to ever play it seriously? Or would you ever have a tournament for this or anything like that? And the answer would probably be no.
No, right.
Until you try the hardcore mode.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, this I would play with gamers. Mm-hmm. This I could totally see myself in a tournament of. Mm-hmm. It's very fast, so you can play a series of the games for a tournament purposes over a whole day. And in the hardcore mode, with the heightened strategy and tactics, it feels to me like the lightest 4X game I have ever played.
Yes, right. It's a 4X game that I can thoroughly enjoy because I'm not a big multiple hour, 2-hour setup, 5-hour play. I'm not really into that. But this does
so fast.
This satisfies a lot of those 4X. It scratches the itch.
Yes.
Without the massive time and effort commitment.
You build farms, you set up farmers to get the resources, you build fortresses to defend your area and stop your opponent from going to take control of the shrines.
Exploring,
expanding, and then, exploiting,
and you fight,
and then you exterminate.
Yeah, so
which we got to show a fight in the examples, so that was good.
Right.
So this, all right. So it's got everything in this is simple and fast.
Yes,
fast and fun.
Yes, this game is built for fun, for sure. It is a fun game. It was designed for enjoyment and.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, you're not going to melt your brain with this game. Although there is some. There's thinking and strategy for sure.
There is some definite thinking. Yeah. There's some more thinking for, I guess, again for the hardcore mode.
Hardcore mode, right?
But this is, I mean, for what this game is, for how simple it is, even with the hardcore mode, it's still fairly simple. It's just less randomness. Mm-hmm. For how simple it is, I like this game way more than I thought I was going to, and it really does scratch that 4X itch in a half-hour game,
right?
Which I don't think I've ever found another game that does that anywhere near as well as this does in such a short time period.
Sure.
And again, I don't dislike the regular version. I like the regular version. I would still play the regular version, especially over some drinks with some people who are not gamers. But with you and me, when we want to get into like a battle of wits, we're going right for the hardcore mode.
Correct.
Yeah. And yeah, this game's like I don't know. Is there anything else we can say about this?
We could just keep ranting about how good this game is. It's hard to believe when you're looking at the rule book.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the components are beautiful, but when you're looking at it, you're like, this isn't going to be.
Yeah, we both had we read the rules the first day we played it. We played it a bunch now, We read the rules, and we were both like, okay, let's give it a try.
Right.
And we're in the middle of the game, and you looked over at me, and you're like, are you liking this game as much as I am? And I was like, yeah, it's really good.
Right.
And this was the basic version. And then we tried the hardcore version, and we're like, we should try the hardcore version. We tried it, and we're like, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah.
This is really good. Like,
I don't know. It's hard to I don't want to disparage it because I don't want to make it sound like I had bad expectations for it.
But we did. We kind of.
Well, I was open-minded about it.
Yeah.
But I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
And surprised by how well everything works and by how enjoyable the gameplay is.
It's just fun.
It's really hit it out of the park with a really simple idea and high-quality production.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And excellent gameplay.
It's beautiful. It's got a wonderful insert. It's a simple and fun game. Easy to learn, easy to teach.
Right.
I'm going to go right out there. I'm giving this 8 out of 10 stars.
Yeah, I was going to go 8.5. I'd go 8 for the 7.5 for the regular version because, like I said, it is still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The hardcore mode bumps this up a full point. 8.5 for me.
You know, that's funny because actually the hardcore bumps it up a full point for me too. It would have been a 7 for me.
Okay.
For the regular game, would have just been a 7 if that's all was in here. The hardcore mode being so much even better than the regular version and so much more strategic and tactical, I was like, it goes up a full point to an 8 because I can see you and I many times in the future, as we've already played this a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Just playing the hardcore mode. Just you and me, 2 players, pulling this out, having a few beers and playing the hardcore mode.
Yeah, I agree.
Very much a really good beer and pretzels game. So you said you're 8.5.
8.5 on this game, yeah, for sure.
It's really high. That's actually really high.
That's an excellent rate. This is an excellent game. There's no
really
two
is.
ways about it. It is an excellent game.
Yeah, this is a 2 thumbs way up review from us.
For sure. Yeah, like it's the little game that could. It really is.
It's shocking how much we enjoyed this game. Yeah. Like, because both of us, like, we read the rules and we're like, oh, this will be basic. There's a lot of randomness. And then we got into it and we just loved it. This is just a really fun game. So there you have it. We can highly recommend the Island of El Dorado to you, both if you like a game with a lot of randomness to play with your kids, and if you like a game with less randomness to get all tactical and strategic with, because it's got both versions of the game in there.
Right.
And they almost feel like completely different games because those little changes actually change a lot.
Oh, for sure.
They really do change quite a bit. So there you have it. So check out the Island of El Dorado. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns either on this video or on the board game, the Island of El Dorado, put them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review and tutorial video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give this video a like, share it on all forms of social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And hit that little bell icon on my channel so you get alerts every time I upload a new video. And until next time, game on.